Hey, it's Susie. And yep, there she is, Charlie, right behind me. Anyway, I wanted to talk about something today because in our last corporate webinar, the founder and CEO of On Passive, Ash Mufareh, spoke about complaints. And of course, he turned it into a positive like he always does, which he's an excellent role model for doing that. Um, and I wanted to talk a little bit about something I learned a while back. And maybe you've heard of this before, but when we talk about personal growth, which is such a buzzword, but we all want to be a little bit better every day. So here's something I just want to share with you. So it's called BMW, and it's not the car. BMW stands for belly aching, moaning, and whining. BMW. It's pervasive. It exists everywhere. It's a language that is non-productive. It doesn't do any good. It's unattractive. There are professional BMWs out there who love to bellyache, moan, whine all the time. They're professional at it. And they're even really good at pointing fingers and making themselves right, making others wrong, and looking good. But it's so unattractive, non-productive, and for personal growth, it's something you don't want to be doing. So let's ditch the BMW. What's some BMW? Oh my God, I drove to that store. I couldn't find a parking spot. I had to walk. I had a parkway here. Oh my goodness, it's been raining for 2 days. Is it ever going to stop? I can't get out to do. It's like those, just give that crap up. However, with complaints, inside of a chronic complaint, there is generally a commitment, a hidden commitment about something you really care about. Is that so? Yes, it is so. And I'm going to give you an example of that. What I think you need to look at is if there's a chronic complaint in your life, not the BMW crap, chronic complaint in your life. Why are you complaining about it? Is it something you really care about? If it isn't, stop complaining. Is it something you care about and you're committed to changing? And if so, you got to do a 180 and take action on it. So here's a classic example that I think a lot of people who may be leaders or managers or in the workforce or just in their own business or whatever. One of the chronic complaints is that people are bothering them all the time, driving them crazy, asking them questions, reaching out to them, messaging them. The phone is ringing off the hook. I can't get anything done. I'm interrupted all the time. If only my people would do this, if only they would listen, if only they, that is a chronic complaint. How do I know? I've had that complaint before. And you know why I had that complaint? And I think many people have that complaint. Down deep, you care. You care about a couple things. So let's be honest. You care about the people that you are supporting. You also care about your image and your ego because you want to look good. We all want to look good. We want to be responsive. We want to lead. We want to help people. We want to direct people. Yet we complain, which is unattractive too. So my recommendation is something like that. You complain about it. You start putting up some boundaries. Okay. What does that look like? Sometimes putting up boundaries can be very painful because we all sometimes have a hidden payoff too. It feels good when people need us, when they need to reach out to us, when we can save the day with an answer, when we can redirect them, when we can help them. It feels good. I admit it. It feels good when you can solve a problem. But if you're complaining about people coming to you, even though there is a payoff that you enjoy, you've got to turn that complaint into a commitment to change it. So putting up boundaries. Putting up boundaries may mean that you don't automatically answer your phone every time it goes off, that you read your messages at a certain time of the day, that you don't immediately respond, you help people redirect them to get the right answer. It's not an easy thing to do, but it can be so dramatic in the way you look at things and the language you use around it. So I kind of am telling you guys, look at something you're complaining about in your life. And is there a hidden commitment in there to make it better? And I bet you're going to find it. I'll give you another example. When I was working at the hospital, I worked with the departments, and we worked with reception in X-ray and with the X-ray techs. And they were both complaining about each other. The receptionist was complaining about the X-ray techs were complaining about reception. Finally, when we dug in deep to hear the chronic complaint was reception was saying things to the patients in a bad way about the X-ray techs. Then the patient would go to the X-ray techs, and the X-ray techs were bad-mouthing reception. Not a good thing. Not good for customer service or patient satisfaction. When we really dug in there, I remember distinctly there was a woman in the meeting, an X-ray tech, and she was so revved up about it. And they tell them that, and then we tell them this. And I said to her, why are you complaining about it? Why are you complaining about it? She started crying. She goes, because I care about the patients. I'm like, bingo. You care about the patients. There is a commitment hidden in there. So what they were both doing, they both agreed, reception and X-ray techs, that they were protecting their image with the patient because they didn't want to look bad. They didn't want to disappoint the patient, but they were undermining each other. So what we were able to develop with them is, what words work, how to reverse how they were each saying things to the patient. But the only way they were able to do that was because they finally realized that they were complaining about it, not just to be mad at each other, but because they put the patient in the middle, they were patient focused, and they cared about the patient, and they made a commitment to turn their complaint into real action and change. And their patient satisfaction scores went way up. And they were so proud. And you know what? They felt better. They felt better the way they were showing up at work and how they were talking to people. So take a look. Get rid of the BMW, not the car, belly aching, moaning, and whining. That's easy. Get rid of it. Hopefully you don't have a blind spot. You catch yourself doing it, stop, reverse it, talk about something positive, talk about something you're grateful for. But when you have a chronic complaint, find out what you're committed to what you care about, and how you can change that. If not, stop complaining about it and move on to something else. Is that so? Yes, that is so. All right. So have a great day. Evaluate your complaints and ditch the BMW. Mwah.